Microphone volume. Hello, hello. Hello, whoever has entered. Hello, hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it sucks. I can't sleep at all. It blows. And I have to work in the morning, which makes it wonderful. So, yay. I'm gonna play a song, I think. Let me do this. Hello, all. Just gonna play a song as I get things set up, and then I'll go from there. Mm-hmm. Just gonna play this one. Funny thing is I actually took a sleeping pill and I still can't sleep, so there you go. Welcome to my stream. Chrome tab. Okay. Share. Let's go. Oh. Just watch this for a minute while I get everything set up. 모든 택시 날 향해 있어 날
말없이 베이는 상처 말 안 해도 알 수 있어 아무런 표정도 없이 넌 이미 익숙하단 듯이 벗어나지 못해 but I know I'm a geek, the big paradox 쉽게 생각하면 널 지키는 killer 지옥 같은 손 다 하나같이 bitter 입을 걸어 잠궈 freeze 이유 없는 시선 뿌리면은 question 죄의식은 이미 그들에게 없어 막을 수 없이 사무치는 맘 참지 못했던 난 너를 위해서 먹구름의 사이 깊어지는 밤 내려돌았던 날 줬던 날 걷게 가 요즘 끌게 또 가 Where is the love 가시 같은 그 말 널 아프게 한다면 열지 못하게 내가 Yeah, 눈 감아 숨 막혀 넌 돈 맞춰만 밟지 넌 뒷걸음만 쳤다면 거기서 변하지 않아 뻔하지 no Get the key, set you free 너 이제 그만 둬 숨 막고 찔 바짝 가려와 뭘 더 coming up lock the door 막을 수 없이 사무치는 맘
Hello, cats.
살지 못했던
Moderator now.
너를 위해서 불어오는 건 거친 바람과 내려돌았던 날 줬던 날 걷게 가 요즘 끌게 뭔가 Where is the love 가시 같은 그 말 널 아프게 한다면 열지 못하게 소중한 시간들을 왜 증오로 채우는가
Doesn't it kind of remind you of everything that's going on, though?
Too many angels dying now I'm gonna change your mind 다시 숨 쉴 수 있게 No
That's my girl right there. The one doing the ad-lib. Hi. I love Dream. You know Dreamcatcher? Shut up. I love that you know that. Okay. Yes, ma'am, Dreamcatcher. Girl, what? Shut up. Oh, yeah. Dreamcatcher is my new obsession. Like, you know, when they first came out, they were just like kind of all K-pop-y, and they did all those like teen, like girl crush songs or whatever. And then when their entire company did like a whole overhaul, and now they've got all this dark kind of storyline, this dark backstory, and like all of their videos are connected, and Shion is like my goddess because Jesus Christ, have you seen her eyes? And imagine the streams if you talked about each video. I have been holding off on a video that could you guys hear me speaking when the video was playing? Because I've been holding off on, reacting to a video by one of my absolute favorite groups. And I don't know if you guys would be able to hear me because I would fangirl the hell out a little. Okay, hold on. Let me turn up my mic a little. You won't want me to have my mic up when I scream. And Jules. Oh yeah. Did you watch the one on 9 Muses? Because that's pretty much the only one that was done professionally so far. Okay. All right, guys. Hold on. Let me pull up the other one. And let me just try not to die with this video because these are my boys. And I was supposed to go and see them I got tickets for them for my birthday from my best friend. And then right after my birthday and right before the concert, like COVID lockdown started in March and the concert was in April. It's like, oh, so I didn't get to go. And that made me really sad. So this group, Jules, you might know them, you might not, but let me pull them up really quickly. I have been holding off because there's one member who has been, and yeah, so let me see. I don't know how I'm going to survive this one, but we going to try real hard. Okay. Whew. They're so pretty. I can't help it. And their songs are great, and their dancing is great, and their acting is great, and I'm just, Lord. Okay. Hi, Tiffany Marie. How are you? I am about to fangirl out to a new song by one of my favorite Korean artists. So if that annoys you, I'm really sorry. Hi, Christy. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming in. I am sorry about your ears because I might scream, but that's just how this goes, okay? So just kind of forgive me for a second because I got problems with these boys. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, give me 2 seconds and I will pull it up. Okay, here we go. Don't show again. Thank you. Yes. Share the audio. I must breathe because these are my babies. I've been watching them since they were put together as a group, so I kind of feel like I've grown with them. So let's do it. Everyone pray for my sanity. Okay. Why is it doing that? Okay. Oh God. Why? Dear God in heaven. So this beautiful man, he's the oldest in the group, and his name is Songgwa. And those cheekbones though. Holy shit. He pretty. And what's funny is he's like so badass in all the videos, but in real life he's so shy. Okay, breathe, Tiffany, breathe. It's fine. Everything's fine here. Let's do it. He's wearing gloves! Everything for people with gloves. They call him the Little Prince. Son in the midriff. Son. This is Son. This guy here with the pink hair is Son. He's the most expressive. He has the most visual acting. So he does a lot of face acting, I should say. But that midriff, though. The midriff is... Okay, I'm sorry I keep pausing, but that's how this reaction's gonna go. Okay, sometimes I just gotta prepare myself. That's the baby. So in Korean, they have a word called maknae or maknae, and that means the young. Oh, look at my bias in the background. His name is Hongjung. And he's this guy right here in the jacket and the, oh dear God. Okay, anyway, this is the maknae, which means he's the youngest member of the group. He's also the lead vocal. Mingi! 어떡해. 진짜. 성과 왜요? 괜찮아. 아, 가자. What the hell? Hello. Hong Joong. Okay. So this guy in this lighter colored jean jacket, he's the leader of the group. His name is Hong Joong. Now, it's more common now than it was before, but the oldest member used to mainly always be the leader, but he's not the oldest member. I think he's the second or maybe the third oldest member. I can't remember. But Seonghwa is actually the oldest member. Wooyoung, who usually has blonde hair. Son. Cannot believe he's wearing a midriff. This is so funny. In a great way. Wooyoung. Them leather pants though. 막내 좋아요. 좋아. This is my love. This is Hong Joong. He's a leader of this group. He's also the nicest man on the planet. So in K-pop, you have a bias, and 9 times out of 10, you have a bias wrecker. So think about it as your main love and your home wrecker. So Hong Joong, this gentleman here, this dapper gentleman, he's my bias. The one I freaked out about in the beginning, Seonghwa, he is my bias wrecker. So Seonghwa, home wrecker. Okay, let's go. Okay. Oh, 민기 어디야? 성구야. Oh, Jesus, Mary, Joseph. Oh, 막내 좋아. All them high notes. Seonghwa, you gonna pay my doctor bill? You gonna pay my doctor bill when I have to go to the doctor for heart issues because you coming up here with your fake wet hair and making me feel things I shouldn't feel because I'm a grown-ass woman and you are barely in your 20s. Are you gonna pay for my doctor bill for that? Because if not, I'm gonna need you to stop being so fucking sexy when you come on the screen. Okay, thanks. Let's keep going. Son, showing that skin again. Recording. AT2. What? Did he have a gun? Seonghwa has a gun. What the fuck? What the? I'm feeling lots of things about that. 진짜. 그래? What? 누구야? 누구니? 진짜. Oh, man. Okay. Did you guys survive? I am so sorry about that. Let's see how many people are saying. Yeah, lots more people left. Hello, I talk English and cat. Oh, man. No. mean, how can you not? Like, the boys, they're so pretty. They're so pretty, and they made me feel things. They do. They always do. But who's in the mask? Hi, Mel. Who's in the mask? We just know that Mingi was not in the video. Now I have to look that up. Mingi was not in the video. Okay, we got to figure out where Mingi is. Okay, hold on. Where was Mingi in the what's the I'm the one video? He's currently on hiatus and does not appear in the video. The group found a unique way to include him with a scene of them gathered around a transmission device as his voice comes through with his verse. What happened to Mingi? He had psychological anxiety and has been focusing on treatment. ATEEZ recently hinted at a comeback with a teaser photo shared along with the date of March 1st, and KQ Entertainment announced on February 5th that Mingi will be remaining on hiatus during the group's comeback. Oh, poor baby. That's hard. You just, Mel. I just remembered that you are in Australia, and I was about to ask you why you were mowing your lawn in the night times. I was so confused. Cats, that to me, the work ethic. Hi, Michelle. So, what do I feel about the K-pop work ethic? Well, so there's a few companies that have not treated their artists really well. There's a few smaller companies. There's one big company that I won't name because they're going after people who say bad things about them that aren't treating their artist very well. And in these artists, they have, in these production groups, they have actors and actresses and singers, clearly. And the group that ATEEZ is with is KQ Entertainment. And so far, they have been really well treated from what I can see. The fact that they're allowing Mingi, which is the rapper, one of the rappers besides Hongjin, the fact that they're allowing him to take a hiatus for psychological break really says a lot about the company. And it really says that, they really care about their artists. So that's really good to me. Like, I really enjoy that they do that. And then you have some companies, after many years of suicides by artists, and the recent suicides of my love, Jonghyun, from SHINee, who I don't talk about because then I'll cry. And then the two girls that died recently. It was Guhara and Jules, help me out. I'm sorry, it's late and I'm forgetting names. So after all of that, people kind of started talking about, because Jonghyun, he pretty much told them that he was severely depressed. He said it through his lyrics. He said it through his actions, through his crying, through just all kinds of things. He tried to get help. And in his suicide note, which his family released because they wanted people to see what his thoughts were when he left, was that he was told, "You're famous. What could you possibly be depressed about?" So in a country that has this huge stigma about mental health, they are moving forward. Thankfully, they're trying. In this company that has this huge stigma about mental health, or this country, he found the courage to actually tell someone, and that's the answer that he got. And so, it's no surprise about what happened, unfortunately. But the standards and the industry is changing quickly, because Sully, yes, thank you. And Sully and Guhara were friends. So when Sully committed suicide, and the reason why Sully committed suicide was not because of the company, it was because you add on really vicious, quote unquote, anti fans or Sasang fans. And that's really what did her in. They really killed her confidence. They really killed everything that everyone else loved about her. And they're brutal. And if you think that people in the United States can be brutal to like fans, you have not met a Sasang fan or an anti fan from Korea. They are vicious. And I stare at them and go, this is the first time I've ever thought that a country's population over a topic, not the country's population, but the anti fans. It's the first time where I've ever felt like we would never do that en masse like they do. And it was just horrible. She literally killed herself over first having depression. And then on top of that, all the hate she was getting. And then Guhara went through a lot of stuff as well. And then her best friend killed herself. And then she killed herself as well. Yeah, it is very tragic. It's a problem. It's a problem that everyone knows and no one wants to talk about. That's the issue. Anyone want to come up here? Because I'm more than welcome to welcome anyone up here. Cats, do you want to come up here? I'm okay if you want to come up here. I'm so alone. Oh, sure, Tiffany. By the way, my name is also Tiffany. So I started out studying Japanese, and I could speak it really well, but I couldn't read it for shit. I knew exactly 2 characters, and that was the character for ku and the character for no, and nothing else. So I was like, maybe this is not a language for me, because Japanese has 3 alphabets, hiragana, katakana, and kanji, and I wasn't doing any of that. So no. So then I was like, I was in love with the singer Boa, who did one of the opening songs for Inuyasha. She's a massive star. She's also in some of the top tier of the administration in the company of SN Entertainment, which is a sister company of Sony Entertainment. So I was listening to her, and I never really thought that she was Korean because her Japanese was so perfect. It was flawless. And then I realized, oh, this girl Korean. So I went to go listen to her music. I fell in love with the language. It was really weird at first because it's really whiny. I fell in love with the language. Then I started watching programs, fell in love with the people. Then I started watching shows. Like I watched talk shows first, and then I started watching television shows. And then I started learning about the history, which was even more fascinating. And so when I tell a native Korean that I've done extensive research on the 3 kingdoms, which is Shira, Pekte, and Goguryeo, and the kings that ruled them and how they died and the medicines that were used, they're just like, are you sure you're not Korean? I'm like, I think if you're going to understand a language, you need to understand the reason that language came about. And for Korea, it came about for a very important reason. So I think it's very, very important that I learn why the language was created and how it was created. So in order to do that, I had to go all the way back to King Sejong the Great, who created the written language of Hangul. And by the way, the complete term for Hangul is a word I can't pronounce, but I can translate it, and it means the correct tones for ruling a people. Yes. Anyway, it took me all the way back to King Sejong the Great, who created the written language by a very open-minded system of councils, which had anyone from the poorest to the richest people like putting in their input, because he wanted complete literacy across the country, which I thought was a very, very noble and forward-thinking policy that he wanted to adapt, especially since it was, not during modern times. Not a lot of people cared about not a lot of people cared about literacy back then, especially not the rulers, especially if they could tell you whatever they wanted to tell you, and you would have to believe them because you can't read. But King Sejong the Great was like, nah, I'm not having that. I'm too busy to have my people reading to everyone. So they're going to learn to read themselves, and that's what he did. But in doing that, I learned about the Joseon period. I learned about all the other countries and the other kingdoms that started and fought and won and lost and won and combined and became Korea. So that is where it all started. It was convoluted and very long answer. And Mandarin is extremely hard. And I would probably have an aneurysm trying to speak it. And thank you, Tiffany. Korean is incredibly more easy than Mandarin. Korean is super easy. Mandarin is tonal and completely difficult. Makes me want to cry. I had COVID, Michelle. My husband and I had it. Oh man, how old is he? It's easier for people not old like me to pick up languages. I went up to my niece my niece who's completely and utterly obsessed with completely and utterly obsessed with Frozen. I was like, "Hey, Alice, I can sing Let It Go for you." And she was like, "Okay. Will you sing it for me, please?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Let it go, let it go. 더 이상 참지 않아. Let it go, let it go. 나는 이제 떠날래." And she looked at me like I had killed her ambitions and all of her dreams, and her face flattened, and this 9-year-old little girl looked at me and just said, "That's not how it goes." And I died. I just died. And she's great. I said, "But that is how it goes." She says, No, it's not. Michelle, it didn't hit us too bad. We were very, very lucky. Of course, I took my offered 14 days off paid from work because why wouldn't you? And my husband got furlough as well. Not furlough, he got sick leave as well. So, yeah, Michelle, until you have to start pronouncing the big words. I wonder if I can even, let's see. 매번 내린 하얀 눈은 인순상에 뒤덮고 외로운 한가운데 나로 남겨주네. 내 안엔 부는 바람 거친 폭풍 되고 정말 힘들만 하나루라겠지. 맘요지만 보여주지만 나를 감춰 숨겨둬야 해. 그 아무도 내 모습을 알지 못하게. Oh man. I haven't got the vaccine, but I often have ATM pants. Oh, stop. I go flat all of the time. The symptoms that I have with my ATM pants were I didn't lose my sense of taste or smell. It just felt like I had the flu, really. And it was really only bad for like the first day and the first night. And it is the same. It's exactly the same, just in another language. Um, and then the next day was just all about breathing. Like I had a lot of trouble breathing. I could walk like 5 feet and be gasping for breath. Wasn't a lot of coughing. And it was just a general like rundown feeling. So ATM pants. What were your ATM pans? I'm trying to say it quickly to see what Siri must have heard from you. What were your ATM pans? ATM pens. ATM pens? Nope, can't do it. It's not making sense. Yes, it was a lot of exhaustion. Now, like I said, we were very, very lucky when he unfortunately brought it home on accident. We do a lot of stuff. Symptoms. Well, Siri got it wrong. My ATM pans. I'm having some ATM pains right now. Wish old Stimmy would hit my account. That would be great. That would be wonderful. ATM pans have me thinking of patty pan squash. What the heck is patty pan squash? You're going to have to explain that to me. iPhone do what it won't, Tiffany Marie. iPhone do what it won't. I mean, it don't matter how many times you tell them that it's wrong, it's going to do what it wants. 1,000,000 times. God, I hope so. Apparently the 17th is Stimmy Day. Decided to call it Stimmy Day. Oh man, look, that man did all he could. He even signed it earlier, a day earlier than he said he would, and all them people who said, "Why are you taking Trump's money?" Because they thought that the stimulus we got last time came from Trump. I bet they all gonna put it right in their pocket as well. So, luck of the Irish. Sydney Marie, fun fact, I have 2 family crests, one from Ireland, one from England. Both my family spelled different ways. Not going to tell you how it's spelled because it's not that stupid because I don't want nobody to know my maiden name. But, yeah, both families, 2 different countries. My great-grands in Ireland, my ancestors in England. I actually found one of my ancestors' tombs. He was a trouble starter. I blame all of my issues on him. All of them. Cats, where are you? Did cats die? Cats, come back. I am lots of Irish, lots of English, and lots of German. So pretty much I just have attitude all around. And bad teeth. Cats, come up here with me, please. You died. R.I.P. R.I.P. cats. Sorry about your life. Funeral tomorrow. Okay. Let it go. Let it go. Though isang na. Let it go. Let it go. On a knees and go na Nan iko say. So isuko ya. Let it go. Let it go. Wait on gas. Oops. Wait on someone. Nope. Wait on going some. There we go. It's a hard one. I did. I sent it before you asked because I'm psychic. Jules. Cass does have 9 lives. Cats! Like breathing crazy into my microphone, like.
So you want to hear about my history? Like, I found out that my heritage, that I'm English, 57% English, right? And like 30-something% Irish, right?
Uh-huh.
And I found out that my ancestor caught the Scottish king and handed him over to the English king, right?
Ooh.
And then I got my husband's ancestry back and found out that he's part Scottish, so I had to apologize to him.
Yeah. Look at. Okay, my dad's side, this is real bad. Don't judge me because I wasn't part of it. It's my dad's ancestors, not mine. Just like to point that out. Not mine. I guess they are mine, but I don't claim them. Two of my ancestors kidnapped, supposedly, Pocahontas and tried to sell her for corn.
Oh my gosh.
Supposedly. I have on my mother's side, I have a guy named Captain Amazia. Captain Asmadia. And he was known as the worst pirate of the waters. Boy went down with his ship quick. He was just bad. He should have took up another hobby. But I have this guy, and his name is Henry. I won't be saying the last name, but I found him. And so his house in England, he turned it into what was called the Friendship House. And the Friendship House was for, them people that didn't like dancing, and Puritans, that's what it was.
Is this echo?
There was a second ago, but not now.
It's doing something weird to me. I'm going to come right back.
Okay. When you see it up close, you can see that it's photoshopped, but it is such a good Photoshop. All they did was take the smear tool and like smear the paw, the piece of the paw up, but it looks so real. Heinz. Welcome back.
Yeah, it was me. My iPad had 2 screens open at the same time, like a weirdo.
Whoopsie. So, my ancestor Henry, okay, he opened his house and called it the Friendship House, which was a house where Puritans could practice their no fun having lives, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So he was also a huge shit stirrer. And back then, when you wanted to shit stir, you stood on the corner and yelled things. So he stood on the corner and yelled things and got in trouble, but he never got arrested. And so he had been married before, but his wife had died, right? So he got remarried. But when he died, they forced him to be buried next to his first wife.
Oh.
He was not allowed to be buried next to his widow. Like, they had bought plots together. But turns out he was kind of a figure in the town, and his tomb, because it's an actual tomb, is in the church tomb of a church in England, which I won't be giving because I don't want people to know my maiden name because it hasn't changed since him.
Oh, wow.
And then...
You kept it that long.
Mm-hmm. And then I have a 15 times great-grandfather who was at the Battle of Tewkesbury with King Edward, and him, along with 67 other soldiers, were knighted on that day. But he was the master of cocks, and for a second, I was real worried. But it turns out he was just the master of the chickens.
Oh, good. I was gonna say.
Yeah. But even apparently the master of the chickens had to go and fight at the Battle of Tewkesbury, and he did. And
Wow.
got knighted along with a whole bunch of other soldiers, which was apparently the prize for surviving battle. So I'm not sure if he did anything to deserve it other than live. Yeah. And then my grandparents, my mother's parents, both of their ancestors were on the Mayflower together.
Mm.
So they were together already. Life's great. Master of cocks. That's what I want to be when I grow up.
I'm gonna put that on my resume.
Master. It says here you're the master of cocks.
Yeah. Well, it's very disappointing because I don't live up to that title, but you know.
But
my
you
husband's very disappointed, but
are you currently employed as the master of cocks?
no, lost my title to my sister.
Oh, damn.
You're a big hoe.
So, I play in a group for Final Fantasy, and I'm just laughing at Tiffany Marie because, like, she doesn't understand just how much I love history, like, with all of my heart and soul. Like, I minored in it in college, and I play Final Fantasy with this group of people that I know, and this motherfucker was going to try to teach me about British history. When my ultimate historical idol, if you don't have one, you should. My ultimate historical idol is Elizabeth I. I read more books and own more books about Elizabeth I than I ever learned about anything else besides Korean. And he didn't like it. So.
I gotta show you my ancestry.com. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's crazy because I've got you know, of course, you got the Puritans, the Quakers, you know, coming over. I've got the American Revolution, you know, the Daughters of the American Revolution trait, you know, history. I just got to go back like a great grandfather, and I can latch onto that if I want it. But I'm lazy. But it's just so cool because I've got like I found out me and Sam are related.
You and Sam?
Yeah.
Like Sams and Swords?
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah, I found out that we, you know who Mathers from the Witch Trials?
I do.
She's related to Cotton Mathers, and I'm related to his cousin. His uncle was president of Cambridge, I think it was.
Jesus.
Or Harvard, one of them, one of
That's
the
a smart
colleges in
motherfucker.
Boston. But anyways, we share. We tee off at the grandfather.
Nice.
So Cotton's father's father, we both shared.
So I don't know how old you are, but a long time ago there was a commercial, and a guy, he was in a suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's an older gentleman, an older white gentleman, and he walks up to a little spot on the ground, and it's oil, okay? And he crouches down next to it, and he goes, "This could be a problem for your car." I'm related to that guy.
No.
I don't know who he is, but I'm related to him. I'm also related to, I can't tell you because then that'll give my maiden name. A very, very, very famous lawyer from colonial America. Nobody from Hamilton, so that's okay. I wish I was related to somebody from Hamilton, but I'm not. Welcome, Tiffany Marie, and hello, mouse. I am the cat. That's terrifying. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I keep complaining because my father was in the Air Force. Like his family from New York, and then you know whatever from there, right? But my mom's side was New Jersey and England, you know, over there. So when my dad went to the Air Force and we got positioned in Washington State, and I was born there. I didn't have to be born there. I literally blame my dad that I don't have an accent, like a New England accent.
You do.
I,
You do. That's like me
I-
saying, I don't have a Southern accent, not at all.
no. I was like, it could be like, forget about it. I'm talking to Tom, and I can't because now I just sound like I'm a conglomerate of the whole U.S. because I've lived everywhere.
You know what? Michelle and Tiffany Marie. I'm just gonna call you TM from now on because it's just too much to say.
Better
I
than
find,
DM.
I mean, correct. I find it so, what is it? Complimentary that you guys used my stream to hide from everyone else, and I'm okay with that.
Is there somebody else live?
No. They were talking about they'd been in my stream before when I was gaming to hide from other streams.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay with me. I will be your safe place. If you are ever in need of a
to
friend.
start covering the music videos. Between you being able to speak and understand the meanings, like mythology or whatever, I think you'd have a great channel.
The problem with that is that there are so many very large channels that have clamped onto the K-pop streams and clamped onto the reviews and all that. And I mean, I'd love to do something towards Korean, but I don't know if it'll be towards music.
Yeah, but you could speak the language. Do all the other ones?
Some of them do. The thing that I'm really proud of is even if I don't agree or I don't like a reviewer or a reactor, a lot of them take a lot of time to actually learn the language. It's such an accessible language that it's easy to learn. It sounds so difficult, but it's so easy to learn. The hardest part you're going to have is pronouncing some of the more difficult words. But other than that, the reading is simple, the writing is simple, and the language itself is simple. And the reason why it's simple is because of why King Sejong wanted literacy in his country. And as of right now, they are the most literate country in the world.
Oh, wow.
And that is why he made the language so easy. There's no qualifiers. There's hardly any adjectives. Is that right? No. I have to look it up. But anyway, but every verb can be a noun. So I mean, every noun can be a verb.
Now, see, my uncle was stationed in Korea, and he came back, and he prefers to speak Korean. He doesn't really. He likes to hang out with Koreans, and
I love Korean people.
He's in Texas now, so it's not the easiest thing. But when he was up in Washington, I mean, it's big Asian area, so it's easy to. You've got, of course, Koreans, but you've got Japanese, you've got Samoans, you've got everything.
Well, I'm very close to Atlanta, and there is a very, very, very large Korean community in Atlanta. So we always go there to the Korean grocery store, which is bigger than most of the grocery stores you've ever been to. It's so big they have a food court.
Wow.
And kimchi, if you've never had kimchi, you should.
Oh, yes. I love kimchi. Well, see, my mom was born in Okinawa. So when, she married my dad, they got married in Okinawa. And then we moved to Washington. I was born and all that. But so we've eaten, cuttlefish, dried squid, whatever you want to call it. Nori.
Nori.
I would love to go. We'd love to go to a Japanese market and just start by the Japanese curry. I love that. I've never had Indian curry. I've had Japanese curry.
It's similar. It is very similar.
Yeah, because my daughter's like, I went to an Indian. I was like, I'm sure it's almost the same because curry powder, but I've never actually gone to an Indian place, which I should. I think that would be cool.
One of my favorite meals, of course, is bulgogi. And also there's a soup called pork spine soup, and it is so delicious in Korea. It is just the most delicious thing you've ever had. So Koreans, in their nutritional diet, they believe that the bones are very good for the humans. So they will cook with the bone. They will, they'll soak with the bone. Sometimes, not me. I'm not one of these people. They will eat the marrow. But pork spine stew is like this kind of spicy. They use gochujang, which is their red pepper paste, and it's got all these vegetables, and then it comes out in this nice red color, right? You can tell the soup's got some kick because it's red.
Yeah.
and it's got gochugaru on the top of it. Gochugaru is it's like red pepper paste, but in a powder form.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside the soup, there is a section of a pork spine. And when you pick this up, you could just run your finger down the spine and all the meat will fall off.
Oh wow.
It's so good. And then
the spine is good because you get the, like you said, you get the collagen, you get the marrow, which is all, it's very good for your hair, skin, nails, joints. So
happiness without guilt. 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. 어서 오세요. 괜찮아? So happiness without guilt, I believe he said 안녕하세요 여러분, which means hello everyone.
Oh, hi. I didn't even see that.
He is a streamer that Jess introduced me to the other day. Very nice man. Bone marrow is not my style. I don't like it all that much, but whatever. But I would imagine that some of it comes out in the soup. So long.
Right, the flavor. I mean, it adds flavor.
Mm-hmm. But so there's this word that you use when you want to get someone's attention. It's togyo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in this Korean restaurant, and I'm donning my 방탄소년단 hoodie, my BTS hoodie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking to the Korean girl next to me who is an EXO fan. Usually big war there, but we were like, we can like both and be friends forever. And so we were, bonding. And I was out of drink. And so normally in traditional Korean restaurants, they're not going to come to your table and ask you if you need something else. You just say, Tokyo, Coke 주세요. Bring me some Coke. Okay, this guy, I'm coming. 밥 주세요. Okay, I'm coming. There was a whole table of these elderly Korean men. They were having a great time, laughing and cutting up. And I said, to my friend, I said, you need some more rice. Don't worry, I got this. Don't worry, I got this completely. And I raised my hand and I said, 자기야, which means honey or baby, or a sweet word you would call someone that you love. Yeah. Instead of chogyo, which means excuse me. And these men's head just turned and then they laughed. And then I died. I was so embarrassed. It happens. Those words are similar. Yeah. I shan't be blamed for the mistake.
You're like, hey, I was trying to flirt. What do you want from me?
I know, right? You see that the ajumma means like, it means grandmother, but like it could be like older woman. The ajumma came walking out and she was like, 뭐라고? I know. 밥 주세요. She's like, 네. Oh man, that was funny. No, you don't think we're crazy. I think he's just a quiet dude. He probably
I'm just proud of myself if I can use English words, let alone without, messing up and saying something wrong.
Well, I had the same problem in Japanese, right? So in Japanese, the word for good morning is ohayo gozaimasu, ohayo gozaimasu, right? The word for idiot is aho. Okay, so when you are not using honorifics, which is what you use to make the word respectful, which Tiffany Marie, TM, by the way, your son has to learn honorifics, and it's really hard in Chinese. In Japanese, if you want to say morning without, ohayo gozaimasu, which makes it, formal, you would just say oha, oha. And I met this band, and they were very friendly with me, and they told me I didn't have to use honorifics, which is when you're given permission, you don't have to use honorifics. So I was like, arigato. And it was very weird because I'm used to using honorifics. And then I looked at one of the bassists, and he was like, who is this, And I said, aho, watashi wa Tiffany desu. And he said, he just died laughing because instead of oha, I said ajo. So I called him an idiot. And he just laughed because he knew what I was trying to do. It was like, when you're learning a new language, you have to be prepared for people to laugh at you. And it's, hi, Nav. Hey, Captain. Hi. It's not that they're being rude to you. It's just like sometimes your mistakes are really funny. But Koreans are very blunt. And I'm okay with that. It was very shocking in the beginning. But ever since I've been learning, and then they correct you. Example, in a restaurant, I told this guy, this husband and wife, they own a restaurant that my husband and I go to, and he told me a joke. And I was like, Jamie, so, well, he's older than me. He also owns this restaurant that I'm currently eating in, and he cooked my food. So I should have used honorifics. I just didn't think about it. So instead of calling me out on that, his wife said, Jamie, so yo. Because yo is the honorific. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot it. I know, Jules, I know. Jesus Christ. Cats. One time, my husband and I went to a late night showing of a movie. I can't remember what it was. Star Wars, maybe. Anyway, so we're sitting in the front row, right? Not the front row down at the bottom, but you know where the seats separate and you got that one walkway? Okay, we're sitting on that front row. So we're sitting there, and the whole entire theater is filled. I mean, it's almost completely filled, right? And this kid walks in, and he's got a bow tie on, and he's got suspenders on, and he's by himself. And I thought, oh, that's cute. And to himself, out loud, he looks at the crowd, can't find a seat, and to himself says, hashtag, oh my God. I lost it. I was like, I love my husband. I said, that boy just said hashtag, oh my God.
That's like when people are out in public and they're like, LOL, or, you know,
right.
It's like, what? Jeez, control yourself.
BT dubs. Oh, man. Me picking up older men.
Oh, gosh.
Saying wrong things in Korean and Japanese, claiming I know the language.
See, that I couldn't do it. I would just mess it up, and I'd come home with some old dude and have to explain to my husband. Like, look, you don't understand. I used the wrong word. Just deal with him.
So, a TM, I would let you know that honorifics generally never have a translation. So it's very hard to understand a lot of them because, like, gozaimasu in Japanese doesn't really have a translation. Yo in Korean doesn't have a translation at all. So it's just, hey, I'm saying these words and I'm putting this other little sound at the end of it so you know I'm being nice. I'm going to teach you a very important phrase, Cats.
Okay.
Say, na. Chugu. Le. Natsugule. Natsugule.
Okay. What's it mean?
The literal translation for that is, hey, do you want to die?
Oh, I'm going to use that on my husband later.
And you can say, yeah, which is like, hey, but very disrespectful. Yeah. Natsugule. You got to say it with attitude. You got to say it with that Korean attitude.
Okay. I'm going to use it on him later when he gives me lip.
Be like, shikuro. Means shut up. Or you can say pikyo, which means get out of my way. Or if you've been watching period dramas forever and ever to learn more about Korean history and you use the word 멈춰라, and it's a very antiquated word meaning stop or halt, then you get made fun of and they know you've been watching period movies.
So 멈춰라? Is that how I say it? How do I say it? Did I say it wrong? I feel like I said it wrong.
Wait, 멈춰라.
See, you're so much better at it than I am. I'll just like, hey, you say it.
Muy bueno. Muy feo. Feo. Feísimo. So with feísimo and guapa, guapo, guapa, pretty, and ugly in Spanish, right? Mm-hmm. So feo is ugly, guapo is, and guapa is pretty. But if they're like super pretty and super ugly, you can say feísimo and guapísimo.
Yeah, I'm good.
Happiness Without Guilt. Can I ask you what your, maybe not your original language is, but the secondary language that you know? What are you clicking?
Everything.
Oh, okay.
I'm like one of those. I got a phone going, a computer going, and an iPad going. I'm just that kind of person. I can have like 20 things going on at once. I have like zero patience on learning anything.
I'm really shit at learning Romance languages. Spanish, French. I don't know if German's Romance language. I don't think it is, but Italian, none of that. That goes right over my head, which is generally the easier ones.
My daughter likes Spanish, and she did German on her own. She did Duolingo and stuff like that. So she did, fine with German. We were going to go to Germany, and we were going to go to Frankfurt, London, and Dublin last March. But things happened. And so she was like, I'll know what to say in Germany. I'm like, okay, cool, because otherwise we're screwed. And, so she knew how to say stuff. But I can't. I'm so glad they have apps now where you can just speak and it translates and stuff.
Oh, American Born Taiwanese. That is awesome. Thai is also very difficult for me to grasp. Like, I can't even begin to say a word in Thai. Like, oh dear, that's a difficult language.
Have you ever wanted to go to Korea?
Absolutely. Oh, I'm going once the lockdowns are over, once the flight restrictions are over, once I don't have to be put in quarantine once I get there.
Yeah, that's definite, because I think that's what I want to do is save up for when I can go over on my trip again, but not Germany. I didn't want to go to Germany, to be honest. I did not. My daughter wanted to go. And then, so I just want to do Ireland, Scotland, and England,
So the thing is like, I think that we should all be respectful of the lives in other countries. And I know that that's that you shouldn't have to say that, but these people that are traveling, they're not exactly respecting the lives in other countries at this moment. Just because some states are dropping their mask mandates does not mean that COVID is gone. Just because the numbers are dwindling does not mean that it's not still mutating.
Exactly.
And
that's like all the people that, went to spring break in Florida. Like, what are you doing? Are you idiots?
Exactly. Like, I mean, the thing is I understand if you don't think that it's going to affect you. If I was a religious person, I'd pray for you when you got it. Because if you live your life recklessly, you are going to get it. I mean, we were absolutely safe, and my husband got it from a friend that he knows, that he sees every day. And, we both went into our best friends thinking that we're not going to get it from them. Like, we had this random thought that it can't be transferred between friends. We were wrong.
Right.
And so, I mean, you just have to be respectful. You don't have to like the rules. If your state removed its mask mandate, please just be smart and wear it any fucking way.
Well, look at Shell from Sunberries. She stays at home, right? And her husband brought it home from work.
And that can happen, man. It's horrible.
Yeah. And she got hit. He got hit bad, but she got hit the worst. We were really worried. And then my sister, the same thing. She's at home, and her boyfriend brought it home. He works for Cintas. Does the they go to businesses and roll up the carpet and bring back uniforms and carpet, you know what I mean, for businesses and stuff. So he would interact, and so he brought it home with him, and she got it. And they both had mild, almost nothing. So, which is lucky, they both have diabetes, so I figured, gosh. But I don't know. I just worry so much. My husband's like, let's go to bingo. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere, sucker. I swear to God, you're like, I started doing Instacart because I'm so worried.
We use Instacart a lot, mainly because I'm lazy.
See, yes. I used to work for Instacart. I used to do the shopping, but when it got kind of bad, I just quit because it was like, there's just no way I'm going to put myself out there.
Yes, I'm just going to call you Mouse. There is a new variant in California, and I don't know if their deaths are rising, but I do know that it is a very aggressive variant. So, and also for those that are saying, I'm not going to get the vaccine because it came from China. No, it didn't. Please stop being ignorant and do your research. Do actual research, not Facebook research, not Fox research, actual research.
Yeah.
It came from the MRSA vaccine, which we already had. They modified it as a working coronavirus vaccine since the coronavirus mutated from, everyone together now, MRSA. Or, yeah, MRSA. Yay! Now I can call you Mouse. I was prepared to say your whole name if you needed me to. It's kind of like on the Boondocks where he's like, my name's a pimp named Slickback. Can I just call you Slickback? No, it's a pimp named Slickback. I mean, I was prepared. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know. You gotta be protective.
You know, my mom.
It's your life, but then you could give it to somebody because you could be asymptomatic, you know?
Oh, no, but it's fake. But my mom had open heart surgery last February, and I still will not go around her, even if I have a cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that it wouldn't affect her right now, but I don't care. It's my mom.
Right. You don't want to be the one that causes that. I would feel so horrible if somebody got sick because of me, let alone die. Gosh.
Michelle, you are more than welcome in this channel and in your life, as you clearly know, to believe and think what you want. I just ask that you do the research that either disproves or proves your fears. And if you find that the research disproves your fears, share it with other people who have the same fears as you. That is how you disseminate correct and factual information.
I've seen enough people to know that it's definitely real. I don't care where it came. Me personally, I don't care where it came from. It's here now, and I've seen enough people sick that I don't want to add to it.
Right. I live in a state that was really high in numbers. Really, at one point, our city, not our state, our city was number one. Because we have a lot of inbred hicks around here who think Trump's going to save them from everything and they can do whatever they want. And what happened? They got COVID. And who didn't save them? Trump.
Wow.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always encourage people to believe what they want. But in the same respect, not now, because I'm not. I understand Michelle's fears. I mean, it's a fear a lot of people have. It's not one that I believe, but it is a fear that people have. And I understand that. I do. However, I would not roll my eyes at Michelle, but these other things that I hear, like, oh, he's going to become president again next month. I mean, that you can have that thought. You can have that thought all you want, but I can also roll my eyes and make fun of you all I want.
Yes.
You know? Just as you can if I have something I believe that you don't.
I just remember people being like, I hate to say it, but with him as president, I got rich or whatever, and I just at off the backs of the poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really feel good about your portfolio, I could never be happy knowing that there's people that are homeless and racism and prejudice and all that because of him, that your bank account got bigger. You know what I'm saying?
So my favorite thing that I have heard, and as I was thinking about this a couple of days after I thought about it, there was a TikToker who made the same point. And it was that people are saying, oh, it's not Biden. It's all because of Trump that he got the vaccine for us, right? Then you ask those same people if they're going to take the vaccine. And they said, no, I'm not trying to get a chip in me. They're going to track me. But didn't your Lord and Savior, procure this miracle vaccine for you, and you're going to turn him down?
That's another thing. The false prophets, the idolizing of false prophet just gets me. Like, you're Christian and you're over here.
Listen, I want to remind you of something, Kat. Going to church doesn't make you a Christian, just as standing in a garage doesn't make you a car.
Exactly.
So, there's an entire reason that I left the church. There's an entire reason that I left my faith, and it has a lot to do with what the Dalai Lama said. It's, I like your Christ, I don't like your Christians.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that says a lot. And no, I don't care who feels any kind of way about that. You're allowed. I'm not saying that to anyone in here, but people are allowed to have their own beliefs, and I'm allowed to have my own system of disbeliefs.
Exactly. Like my father, he was raised Catholic, and then when he met my grandfather in Okinawa, once he got out of the army, he stayed there and raised his kids and became part of a Christian cult. It's like a commune thing. And my grandfather would go around in a van with a big speaker on the top, just, preaching out as he was driving. Anyways, my dad met him while he was in the Air Force, and that's how he met my mother. And he changed over Christianity. And my father, as I got older, my mom and him divorced, and he remarried, and he went to seminary school. I guess that's what you would call it. I don't know. It was a Bible college. School. And he became a minister.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so him and his second wife had a church, and they had a little place at the church. What's it called? Parishioner or something like that.
Parishioners?
Yeah. And so he got kicked out of there for some inappropriate stuff. And he divorced that one, married another one for like 8 months, divorced that one. And then he met one that over online that was from the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And after about 3 years, they were able to get married, and he moved over there. And so he lives in the Philippines right now, and he's back to Catholic.
Right.
So all those times, all those years where Catholic was wrong, Catholic was bad, and there he is being the hypocrite that he's always been. And so for me, it's hard to, I believe in a higher spirit, but I couldn't tell you what the name is.
Yeah, Michelle, isn't that funny? Oh, we don't want a tracking device. Okay, that's fine. But when you take your phone to the bathroom to take a shit, and you're suddenly getting advertisements for toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not being tracked at all already. Not at all. Or when you call 911 and suddenly they know where you are. Nope, you're not being tracked. Not one little bit.
That's exactly it. You could be sitting there talking about wanting to buy a necklace. Next thing you know, you get ads all over your internet.
And get this. So if you ask Siri, are you always listening? Siri says, no, I only listen when you call for me. Well, the biggest question is, how do you know that I'm calling for you if you're not always listening?
Exactly. I unplug my Siri. I don't have her going at all. Like, I plug her in, listen to music, and I turn her off. I don't have her going 24/7.
My Siri is a man, and he's Irish because for one simple thing, and I will demonstrate this now. Hey, Siri, what's 11 times 3?
11 times 3 is 33.
33. That's the only reason he's male and Irish, so I can hear that. 33.
I'm going to need that so I can understand, like, Sonia and stuff.
Sonia's accent and her dialect. So there's huge difference between dialect and accent. Accent is how she speaks. Dialect is the words she uses to convey her thought.
Mm-hmm.
So her accent and her dialect is so freaking mesmerizing. I just sit there and I'm just like staring at the screen, like my life just went away and I just have to watch this whole thing without blinking.
For me, it's like, even when she's mad, it's just fun listening to her. And, I feel bad because she's mad, but I just enjoy it,
Right.
Especially when she starts using words like wanker or, it's whatever. And I'm just like, I'm sure this is really horrible, but it sounds fun to me. I don't know.
Of course they can turn our cameras on, Michelle. They can do whatever they want. The thing is people don't realize just how much we are controlled. They scream about, oh, I made freedom. Really, freedom is a construct that only happens because you are at some point controlled. in order to have freedom, you have to have someone controlling part of your world. Otherwise, there is no reason for freedom. It's just life. I have the freedom to do this and the freedom to do that. Yeah, you sure do. But the same people that gave you those freedoms also made the laws that you rally against. So people are filled with hypocrisy and they just want one story, one narrative. They don't want to look at the facts. They don't even want to pretend that other facts might exist. So,
Well, I think it's a need to have something to latch onto, like a security, you know?
right. And that's the entire reason why the Greek gods were created, because people didn't understand their world. But at least, it wasn't like, I don't know. I mean, it's still conspiracy theories. I mean, to have a whole system of deities that control your world, at least they weren't stupid and was like, our gods are all loving, benevolent, giving, and kind, and they will take you into their arms, robed in white cloth, and they will sing you hymnals from angels on high. No, they were like, these bitches live on Mount Olympus, and they are mad as fuck at all of us at all times, and they will kill you dead if you don't light the pyre in the house to the house gods. They will kill you stone dead because they don't care. Now, see, if that was a real religion, I would believe that more than I would believe, no offense to anyone, this is just my belief, and I do not begrudge anyone their belief at all, Christianity. Or any religion that says their God is all benevolent, all kind, all loving. It's just not my cup of tea.
Well, I mean, you know what's really funny is because right now my daughter's at college and she's taking a philosophy class and her instructor loves her. But because I always taught her to find her own path, you know, whatever religion she wants, she'll find out. I'm not going to tell her what to do when it comes to that. I've always been very open about you find out who you are as a person.
That's the way my parents were too.
Like, if you want to be bi, be bi. If you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to be Wiccan, be Wiccan. You know, whatever you find your path, that's your path, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's been allowed to do whatever. And so she's always studied different religions and stuff. And so for her, you know, we have these talks where it's, I tell her that religion is just a guidance through life. It's, you know, all these gods could actually have different names, but it'd be the same person. And that's maybe doesn't make sense to people, but there's always a higher power that somebody follows. They just have different names.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's very into reading up on mythology and stuff. And I think that's good. People should be open to listening. She's in a very predominant Christian area. And so it's not always met with open minds.
And see, here's the thing. Like, I have a very strong... I don't want to offend anyone. Like I've said before, I'm going to say this a million times. I do not begrudge, I do not judge you for your religion. I do not. Unless you're a religion of serial killers, then I'm very much judging you. Mm-hmm. But the way I look about it, and I was raised in the Catholic Church as well, and I left the church. I tried Protestant church, and it was nothing but a gossip fest. And my grandmother used to say, "Oh, darling, do you know what we call those women? We call those women church whisperers." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You know, when the preacher's preaching," half my family's Protestant, half of it's Catholic. "When the preacher is preaching and you look around the room and they're just whispering in each other's ears. They're not listening to the preacher. No, they're whispering about everybody else." And I say, you know, that's not something I want to be a part of. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. Do I know that I'm right? Nope. Not even a little bit. But I know what I believe. And the reason why I have trouble with any organized religion is for one story that I learned a long time ago that has to do with the Greek gods. Now, people say, "Oh, that was Greek gods, you know, that was just like a story." No, it really was their organized religion of the day, hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. And so it was their religion. It was their worshipped religion. It was the religion that they put all of their faith into. And it was the religion that they followed on a daily basis. They lived their lives according to the beliefs of the Greek gods and Mount Olympus. However, there's one story that kind of highlights the cherry picking and the narrative changing that happens in all organized religions that really made me think I want nothing to do with this. So some of you have heard me tell this story before, but I'll tell it one more time. There was a man. He wanted to prove that the gods did not exist. This was during the Greek gods. He wanted to prove that they did not exist, that these people were worshiping nothing, that really what they were doing was making up answers to questions they could not answer on their own, which made a lot of sense, especially if you look at Hades and Persephone and summer and winter and all of that. Made a lot of sense to explain the seasons, to explain death, to explain all of this. So the man said, I'm going to go to Mount Olympus, where you say these gods live. They live there, right? They're all like, yep, absolutely. They live there. Zeus lives up there. Everybody lives up there. That's where they live. Mount Olympus, right up there. So he says, okay, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to talk to them. If they're real and they're up there, I'm going to talk to them. They said, oh man, you can't climb Mount Olympus. That's not possible. That mountain is too big. It's too dangerous. And you'll die before you ever get to the top. He said, it's cool. I'm going to take my chances. So he found a way to climb the mountain. And lo and behold, what did he find? Nothing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the man comes back down the mountain. It's back down the mountain. And he goes to the people. And he says, behold, I have been to the top of Mount Olympus. And there is nothing there but open air. There's no gods. There's no palace. There's no Zeus. It didn't even rain. And they said, oh, that's because you thought they lived on Mount Olympus. No, what they do is they live in a veiled plain on Mount Olympus. You can't see them because you're human. Narrative change. Because they were proven wrong, their narrative changed.
Yes.
And now suddenly back then, the Greeks lived behind a wall, a veiled wall, and humans could not see them. But before he left for this journey, they said, oh yeah, they live up there. You climb to the top of there, you're going to see them. And then you're going to come back down here and you're going to feel stupid. And you're going to owe all of us an apology. Well, that didn't happen. And when he proved them wrong, they changed the story. They changed the rules. Because, and I understand it's a fear response. If you tell somebody something doesn't exist that they have believed their entire life, and this does not prove or disprove religion, because there is no proof or disproof of religion, which is why I say I could very much be wrong. But say people believe that atoms were like a thing of the imagination, right? No atoms could exist, no protons, no, just bullshittery is what that is. It's not true. And then you prove it. Fear is the first response. Because now your initial belief has been shattered. Your world is no longer the same.
Yeah.
Everything
and it's a safety thing. You don't feel safe. You don't know
Exactly.
what is what.
You feel like you're falling, like you don't have your seatbelt on anymore. And so when you approach people, and I've approached a lot of intelligent and willing to speak people about organized religion, but when you approach some of them, the fear response turns to anger, and then they start to label you. Like, oh, if you don't believe in religion, you must believe in the devil.
Yeah.
So the other problem I have is that people who are agnostic or atheist, I am kind of in the middle between agnostic and atheist. We've read the Bible. That's why we left the church. We know what's going on in the Bible. That's why we don't agree with it. I mean, come on. We have our ammunition. Maybe you should get yours.
Well, I think another thing is that I read this one book, and it was a historian. It was basically about finding out who the real Jesus was. And when you realize at the time that there was so many false, why the church acted the way they did and all that stuff at the time, you can understand why they didn't want to believe, because they've believed before and it backfired. So what was the point of believing this one was the Messiah and all that? So reading all that and you finding out, it's interesting. It's interesting to see that at the time they didn't believe who he was. And it wasn't until when was it the Romans that took it and they tried to sell the story of Jesus to their people. You know, that's when it really took off, that it wasn't supposed to be taught to anybody outside of the Jewish faith. And so when you look at that and find out, you start to realize we kidnapped a religion, basically. We took a religion and made it our own.
Yep.
And
And
like every holiday that we've made,
pagan holidays.
Yeah, that we've made our own. We've kidnapped people's faith.
Our months and days of the week are also pagan. Just so you know.
Yes.
And also let's think about it this way. Now, I do not dispute that there was a man whose name was actually Yahweh. Okay? I do not dispute that whatsoever. I do believe there was a human on this earth that preached to the people. There have been many prophets of many religions who truly cared about the people, right? However, I do not believe in a book that was written 500 years after his final death.
Yeah.
500 years after his death. Not to mention, it was then bastardized by King James when he took out parts of the Bible that would incite revolting in his people because nobody wanted him to be king. Not to mention the same guy that bastardized the Bible, the one that is used the most today, was written by a king that fornicated with males. And we weren't going to get started on the homosexuality in the Bible, which did not exist. Right. That term in the Bible was put in the 40s or the 60s. I can't remember. That term was inserted into the Bible.
Yeah, in the 60s.
In modern times. And then if you look at it this way, if you look at the Un family, Kim Jong-un and all of his family, right? If you read the biographies on these people, it reads like a Bible. All of these fantastical things, walking on water, was born a full-grown man, blah, 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 is the same exact concept as the Bible, except we have modern technology today. We have the ability to watch it in real time and call bullshit when we see bullshit. We did not have that ability when the Bible was written.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And the original Bible is hard to find. It's actually the book of prayer, and it's extremely hard to find. And Christianity, P.S., is also one of the youngest religions.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not even one of the first. So the question I always have is, well, if Christianity was not the oldest religion and is in fact one of the youngest, if your God is so hell-bent on making sure people believe him, why didn't he correct any of these other fuckers that didn't believe in him before the religion even came about? Man, that don't make no damn sense. And why did he create dinosaurs? What was the point of that? Did he think that maybe they would become humans? And also, the one thing that bothers me is just like a nitpicking thing that really bothers me. There are no female angels. There are no male angels. All of the angels are androgynous.
Well, that's another thing that bugs me about Catholic.
And they don't have wings. And they don't have sex organs. They don't even have wings.
Well, it's like Catholic. It's like, okay, so you're not supposed to pray to another god, but then you pray to the saints.
No, right? I do want to defend that, because that's not the same. We are not praying to the saints. We are thanking them for the work that they did on the earth when they were here.
And then what about the mother? Mother Mary. So what about? We're not praying to her either.
No, that's the same thing. We thank her for carrying him,
Okay.
but it's not when you talk to some people do, some people don't. When I was younger, I used to put in a prayer to my grandparents. Like, I miss you so much. I wish you were here. Please watch over me. That's still considered a prayer because you're sending a message with your whole heart and you're sending it to someone who's no longer with you. But it does not mean a prayer does not equal worship. A prayer is just a means of communication. Worshipping is completely different. But a prayer can be to anyone and anything. But it does not mean, and take this from the girl who's no longer in the religion, so I'm not being biased here. A prayer does not mean that you are putting another God before your God. It just means you are communicating with those that came before you.
Like a phone call. Or
Can't write them a letter. So you just kind of, light a candle and hope the smoke and the fire gets your message to whoever you're trying to speak to.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Right.
And see, that's the thing. If it doesn't make sense, then there's an answer. If there's no answer, there's no answer. But
exactly.
My thing is, that's the thing. I always tell my daughter, religion is a way to guide people in a faith in something. You have to believe in something to go on and wake up every day. You know what I mean?
I believe in science.
Whatever that is. It can be coffee, a cat. It can be a religion. Whatever gets you up and guides you to make good choices every day. I think there's some people lose their way without some type of guidance.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
But I don't like
excuse me.
I don't like being pressured. You know what I mean? When you get like that Jehovah's Witness that shows up at the door, or you get the aunt that my grandmother, before she passed, everything was biblical. Like, I would tell my daughter when she would get a message from my grandmother, I said, "You've been grandma'd," because it would be like, meanwhile she's like Wiccan, right? So she'd get this message, but like, God's looking out for you. Don't forget to pray, blah, 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 right? And my daughter would just go, "Thanks, Grandma, love you," right? But I would just message her and go, "Haha, you've been grandma'd," because that was just our way of,
Hi, Silver Wings. She
says it to everybody, always about God. I saved every one of her messages when she passed because it's like, I'm never going to get that.
And, if that's, faith helped my brother become sober. And if that's what it took to get him to stop using drugs, I'm all for it. I'm there for it.
Yeah.
If the fear of damnation is what keeps him on the straight and narrow, I will not judge him. I don't judge anyone for their religion. Do I have my thoughts and theories on them? Absolutely. And I would agree with anyone on their right to have thoughts and theories about my decisions when it comes to religion. That's fine, as long as people can discuss it in an open-minded. Uh-oh, baby awake?
It's the baby kitty.
Aww.
Dude, I don't want to see your baby. He brings a stuffed animal and tries to show up to me.
But
I don't want to see him.
Every Christmas, my aunt has a happy birthday Jesus cake.
Oh.
I am not kidding. And she wants me to sing happy birthday. And when I told her that not only was God not born in December, he was also Muslim, which back then, they didn't celebrate birthdays.
I believe he was actually born in September.
I was no longer invited to Christmas at her house.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
You ruined it. Well, like, Grandma, no, we got to open the gifts earlier. Try September.
Jesus was not
like
white.
They say, they based it on the star setting at the time that it had to be in, like, either late August or early September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, big believer in being. And you know what? I was very rude to my best friend. Not very rude. I mean, anyway. For her whole life, she's like, anime is stupid. I can't get into anime. I don't like anime. Anime, no. Please don't make me watch this. But when she started taking Japanese, one of her classmates told her, anime helped me. So, hold on, let me say goodnight to my hailspawn. Are you going to the bed? Okay, I love you. Hold, please.
She loves you.
You okay?
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you.
Good night.
Good night.
She watched Death Note and realized that she actually likes anime. And I was like, I told you I don't like anime. And she's like, hey, people are allowed to change their mind. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'm hoping it clicks with me. I'm hoping I'm gonna be like, yeah, I love this and start liking it because I want to get into something, but
Do you want me to send you some K-dramas to watch?
yeah, go for it. That and some anime.
Okay.
See if I can get into it. It has to be a series though. I got to be like, okay, I got to watch the next episode.
I love you. So I'm going to send you Tokebi so you can gouge out all of your emotions and sob your face off.
Oh, good,
Mhm.
because I need that.
Yes, we all do. Jules, have you seen Tokebi or Goblin? Would you all like to see the trailer for Goblin? I think I've
go
shown
for
you the trailer.
See, and these are like the kind of discussions I like to have where you can talk it out. Maybe you're like, I like it because if I'm missing something, somebody can tell me, or you know what I mean, without any judgment or arguing.
I hope you guys are prepared. Let me see if this is a good one.
Oh my god.
Okay. Let me rewind it back. Turn on my sharing. Hold on, where did that go? Oh, it's right there. I found it. Share screen. Chrome tab. This one. Share the audio as well. Share. We're gonna go full screen on this beach. Okay. Hold on. Umak. Okay, you see the caption on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that says Umak. So the square is an M. The line, horizontal line, is EU. So these circles are silent. A is this vertical line, and then the bottom is a K. So Umak. Okay, but that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Subtitles. Was this supposed to have English subtitles? Okay. Oh, maybe it's already built into there. Okay, here we go.
아저씨 귀신이잖아요. 제가 귀신을 보거든요. 아저씨 도깨비예요?
나는 여태 이렇게 살아있고 편안하지 못하였네. 너 대체 뭐야?
제 입으로 말하긴 좀 뭐한데 전 도깨비 신부거든요. 맘 먹었어요 제가.
뭘?
저 시집 갈게요 아저씨한테.
I love him.
나 아무래도 요정인가 봐요. 팅커벨.
So this man is a Grim Reaper.
무인년 을묘월 김요일 08시 32분 사망. 본인 맞으시죠?
내가 먼저 집었잖아. 아, 그렇다고 뭘 울어? 일단 통성명부터 하죠. 내 이름을 알아야 전화를 할 거 아니에요? 반가워요. 써니예요.
He can't touch her.
내 집에 어쩐 일로?
여기 살아?
언제 들어왔어 삼촌? 빈방 많으니까 써. 내 집이다 생각하고. 너 맞짱 무슨 짓이야? 왜? 뭐? 멀리 가 멀리.
꺼져.
저는 마지막에 마지막까지 끝방 삼촌의 편에 서겠습니다. 진짜로.
네가 죽였냐? 그러면 굉장히 무례한 표현이야. 부주의한 도깨비. 무개념한 저승사자.
뭐 갑자기?
너야?
뭐가요?
날 불러낸 게 너냐고. 거봐
If she
너야.
blows out fire, it summons him.
나 알았어요. 어떻게 부르는지 알았어요.
아무래도 계속 불러 기세요. 언제 어디서든 지적이고 빈틈없는 모습이고 싶어. 그럼 이 옷이랑 이 책은 어울려? 이 LP가
요새 애들 다 파일로 들어.
이 그림이나 이 그림이나. 좀 해. 내가 이 집을 떠날 때 입을 옷이라고 생각해. 그럼 식을 거야.
뭐지?
너 멋져 뭐 최고 이거잖아. 그러니까
That was actually
그거
a
해야지
mess
내가
up.
나가지.
그러니까.
대사가 뭐냐고?
누가 크게
Like a blooper.
Yeah.
멋있어. 다시 해?
멋있어. 막 누구셔 최고.
Oh, that was an epic scene. What's the other one you need to watch? Hold on, let me look. Oh wait, this is the one that. Wait, English dub. No way. Shut up. This is the one that I showed you. I think. Yeah.
그는 물이고
Oh,
불
he said, Conklin said
바람이며
unmark his
빛이자
comment
어둠이다.
so they could see.
Huh?
Conklin said unmark his comment so they could see the subtitles.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. How do I unmark it? How do I do that?
I don't know.
How do I do that? Help me. Help me.
I don't know.
How do I do it?
Click over somebody else's and unclick it,
Or maybe. Oh, that's a good idea.
and then unclick it. There you go.
There we go. Okay. My bad, guys.
We learned something new multiple things today. All right, go ahead.
Okay. I'll start it over.
All right, go for it.
그는 물이고 불이고 바람이며 빛이자 어둠이다.
아저씨 귀신이잖아요. 제가 귀신을 보거든요. 아저씨 도깨비예요?
나는 여태 이렇게 살아있고 편안하지 못하였네.
안녕하세요. 지은탁입니다. 대략 한 200년 후에 아저씨 신부 될 사람입니다.
그리고 한때 인간이었다.
What's another show you need to watch? You need to watch this one. Scarlet Heart Leo trailer. English.
Ooh.
Okay. What's this? That's only 40 seconds long. Let's do this one.
넷째 별이 송악 위에 떴다고 했던가. 고려 대운의 전조가 될 겁니다.
왕소왕자를 조심해. 제가 그분의 인생을 바꿀 수 있다면요.
넌 이 흉측한 얼굴이 아무렇지도 않은 거냐?
제가 그 가면을 벗겨드리겠습니다.
남을 믿으면 죽고 가장 가까운 사람부터 의심해야 살 수 있는 것.
내가 할 수 있어. 모른 척하지 않을 거야. 누구도 불행해지게 놔두지 않아.
운명의 상대 난 운명 따윈 믿지 않아. 보고 싶었다.
매 순간 그리웠다.
다른 세계, 다른 시간에서 만났으면 얼마나 좋았을까.
황제가 될 거다. 황제가 되겠다. 난 널 절대 놓치지 않는다.
That's a super good one.
Oh.
I'll show you one more. Korean English sub. This is the one that I finished watching recently. It's got English subtitles. Come on, man. No. Yeah, okay. Well, it's only 30 seconds long. Bureku. Really?
운명을 받아들여. 생사예측 미스터리. 블랙.
Black. He said it's your fate, is what he said. But I can show you the opening to that one, which shows a little bit more. How do I? Okay. Oops. That could be an drama opening. This one. It's got Spanish subtitles, so I'm sorry. I think the song might be in English, though. Yeah. Song Sung-hoon. Doara.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good show. He's a Grim Reaper. And she can see when people are about to die. She's like, no, not my people. Not my people. What? No way. Hold on. No. Now I have to show that one. No. The one from the 80s, the latest. Yeah, it's really cool, Jules. Really cool. God, what is it? Hold on. Hold, please. Korean Odyssey. Is that English? What is that? Oh, episode 1. No, we don't want to watch that. We watch this one.
근데 쟤들한테 먹히는 거보다 나한테 잡아먹히는 게 낫지 않겠어?
일단 나가서.
오케이. 절대 낭만 테마극.
과유기.
Is it a romantic exorcism?
What?
Is it a romantic exorcism movie?
Oh, but it is.
I know. I'm just thinking that sounds like a interesting relationship.
Oh, it is. Oh my god.
Now, how do you watch these? Do you have like a membership, kind of like a
Yeah.
Netflix type of thing, or?
Yeah, I use Viki. It's one of the main streaming sites for Korean drama and for Thai drama and for Chinese drama, actually. So, Tiffany Marie, I don't know if she's still in here, but your son can watch Viki. They got them Chinese dramas on there. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you one more video, and it's one of my reaction videos. We're not going to talk about it because it was back when I was using a voice changer just to be funny, and we are going to see one of my fangirl videos. Un momento, por favor. Which one should I show you? I have so many to embarrass myself with. Okay, let's see. No. Okay, yes, this one. Oh, Lord. Apologize for all of your ears in advance. Then after this, I have to go to bed because I have to work. RC, you should watch Sayuki, the anime, which is an amazing anime, and I'm actually really good friends with one of the voice actors. So you should watch that. Okay. So this is from one of my original loves called Vix, and this is one of their videos. Like I said, I'm sorry about your ears. Okay, so just so you say, Biksu, Sarsu, chained up. This one was hard. I blame Leo and water and Hongbin in the water. Sigh. Okay. I saw him in concert, Ravi. That's my love.
He's so well. Oh my gosh.
얘는 이렇게 아픈데 들어서질 못해. Here it goes. Getting my dreams, I'm a down, na 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 na. 괜찮아. Yeah.
You look lost as shit.
Oh, can you not hear it?
Was there? No, I didn't know there was supposed to be a volume. I'm sorry. I was just watching what you were writing on there.
You can't hear it?
No.
Oh, son of a bitch.
It's okay. I was laughing at what you were writing on there.
Son of a bitch.
You're like, you lost as shit.
Okay, so let me redeem myself. So that guy that I said I had seen in concert, Ravi, he actually went solo. And I saw him in concert, and it was amazing. And I had the best time. Well, let me show you. And then I really do have to go to bed because Jesus Christ. Share audio. Okay, here we go. This was me filming at the Ravi concert in Atlanta. Oh, so hot. Okay, let's do it. Feel that
Wow, fancy good. 잘 받아낸 향기 blues. 이봉석 가는데 걸린 노년과 수많은 커피들 내기처럼 heavy 발라에서 변하다 바라보면 나로 환해. Never gonna pay my dues.
That would be my best friend screaming. Gotta love Korean fan chants. He was awesome.
I can't wait till we can do concerts again.
I know. Like, holy shit, they have that one. What the hell is it? Oh my god.
All right, I better get down here.
Yeah, I gotta go. I got to go
Yeah.
to the bed. The sea of cell phones. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And then there's a video or a picture of him like laying back in the crowd, which I actually have. And when I showed it to all my Korean friends, they were so fucking jealous because they cannot get that close to their artist. And he's a big time artist in Korea, like huge. And the fact that he was just laying on us just like blew their minds.
Wow.
But anyway, guys, thanks for putting up with my random video jaunt.
It was fun. We had a good talk.
Well, how is this still going? Stop sharing. Miss Green is not sharing anymore, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, guys, you guys are all welcome back. Thank you so much for just chilling with me. And I hope so too, Mouse. Thank you. And thank you for coming up, Cats. We had a wonderful conversation.
Oh yes, it was very informative. I loved it. And
And
send me
nothing
some of
was
those links, please.
I will. And none of it was about YouTube drama.
Yeah, not a single thing.
What? All right, guys. Good night. Have a wonderful night.
Bye,
And I hope to see
guys.
you back.
Talk to you
Bye.
later.